Have you ever just sat back and really, truly counted up all your blessings? I know right now we're sitting in November. Welcome, November 2024, you guys. And today just happens to be election day. And I want to make sure that everyone get out there and vote. And make sure that when you do, you weigh the consequences of your vote because your vote carries a heavy, heavy burden. And it's a beautiful responsibility to have. All of us have something that we could be grateful for, but are you thankful? Have you really made a list of all the things that have been bestowed upon you? Yes, great responsibility comes to those who are blessed beyond measure. Are you in the business of blessing others? Have you been put in a position to where you can truly help and change the trajectory of someone else's life? And if you have you done it? And if you haven't, why not? Maybe you don't know how many things that you are truly, truly blessed with. And are you thankful for what you have? Well, I say, come on, cousins, and let's pod about
In a world fraught with confusion, one man will break his silence. There was only one man for the job.
Come on, cousins, let's pod about it.
welcome one and welcome all to another episode of Word to the Wise with the exclamation point. Who me? I'm just your friendly neighborhood tour guide and liaison for this journey that we call life. They call me Terry Patrick, but I've gone by many, many names and I wear a lot of different hats. Yes, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, and I'm also a brother and an uncle. But guess what? I started off as a son. So you got to give it up for those who brought me into this world because this right here is for Pops and Fat Mama. Thank you guys for the upbringing that I had. But I'm going to tell you right now, I came up on the rough side of the mountain. How were you raised? Did you grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth? Or did you come up with challenges and obstacles and just things that are against you at every turn? Yes, I believe that is me and my upbringing. Whereas we had opportunities abound, but man, I grew up poor. And I'm even going to say I grew up poor. I grew up poor. Yeah, we couldn't even afford the rest of the word. Couldn't put the R on the end. That's how poor we was. See, in my neighborhood, in my upbringing, my father worked, 6 days a week. My mother was a homemaker, which means she was always there, always at home. And in doing so, we didn't qualify for any of those little benefits and other things that other people in the neighborhood may have. I mean, the working man, you can tell the difference of who had a job and who had some government assistance. They had baskets full of groceries and being raised in a household where a single income. We saw the difference. But boy, we made do. We had fun doing it as well. Yeah, when I grew up in my household with my two other brothers, Jackie and Jamie, and my younger sister, Angela. And we also had my uncle and my grandfather who lived with us, Tommy Jean and Daddy John, and may they both rest in peace. Yes, my brother Jamie died when I was a young man, but upbringing inside of this household, man, we had to make ends meet, yeah, and stretch it out. Sometimes, yeah, it wasn't the meal of choice. So I don't understand kids nowadays who say, I don't want to eat that. I don't like that. I don't like the taste of that. You didn't have a choice. You ate what was cooked, or you did not eat at all because there was no alternative meal. Yes, and I'm gonna tell you right now, we did not eat 3 times a day. I grew up as a person right now. I'm not a big breakfast eater. I'm used to dinner. And you may have a occasional little sandwich for lunch. But we were thankful. Yes, we were. We were thankful for what we have. Because even if you have a little, you have more than somebody else. Yeah, someone out there right now is like, yeah, I don't like this house. I don't like this car. Yeah, you tell that to a person who got to walk to work. You tell that to a person who's living in a shelter, who wish they had a house, wish they had an apartment. See, when you're raising kids like I am, my kids are now getting up in age. Yes, you want to be able to provide a roof over their heads, some shelter, food, clothing. But kids don't care what kind it is. Yeah, they just want to make sure that it's safe and it's clean. That's good enough. But when it comes to the meals, we are so finicky nowadays, aren't we? Are you, cousin? Are you the type of person? No, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating this and I'm not eating that. Boy, we used to eat something called a rutabaga. I don't know if you ever had some rutabagas. Yes, I didn't like them, but I ate them. Only thing that I didn't eat and I still won't eat is a chitlet because I can't get past the smell of them. Don't like chitlins. No. And I'm not a big broccoli eater either, but I'll eat it if it's on my plate and that's what we have. I will eat it, but I won't eat chitlins. Have you ever ate a rutabaga? It's kind of like a vegetable. Yeah, it looks like a potato, but it tastes like a turnip. And my mother used to make a big pot of them. And my goodness, I couldn't stand rutabaga night. I can always tell when my father got paid. We used to eat what they used to call high up on the hog. See, a lot of African American delicacies, they came from the scraps and things that people used to throw away. Yeah, they ate the ham. They ate, but you eat in black delicacies we made out of a pig. You eat the pig ears. Have you ever had pig feet? I used to say, sure, if you can fry up the oink, then we would eat that too. And pork has always has been something that is not good for you, but a good pork chop is delicious. So if you don't eat pork, more power to you. You're doing the right thing. Yes, but we had so many different things that we had to make do with. And I don't understand the way that we are raising our own children, being products of that environment. And nowadays, it's all about, I won't have that. Kids will not eat. Why? Because they know we'll break down and give them something else. That hard upbringing. Yes, do you still use a lot of the principles that your parents raised you on? Do you still use them? Show them that you have to work for something? Or do you hand it to them? I hand a lot to my kids. Yes, I do. I had a good conversation with a good buddy of mine. Sat down and man, he told me a story of how his father did him, how he wanted a car. And his father told him, okay, well, you're going to have to work for that car, save that money up. And he worked and worked and he worked with his father, fixing up apartments. And when he finally got close to the money, he figured, oh man, my father, he'll chip in them last few $100. His father's like, no, you short, partner. You don't have enough. So he still had to work again. So when he finally got enough to be able to get the car, and yeah, the way the story goes, he didn't ever get enough. His mom snuck him the money. And his father said, where do you get the rest of the money from? And he tried to squirm his way out of it because he didn't want to get his mom in odds with his father. But he finally told him, he said, well, okay, you want a car? You're going to have insurance. Yes, you're going to have to be able to fix it up and have the repairs before you can drive it. So he had a car. and he couldn't drive it after working hard to be able to get it. I have not given my kids that lesson. No, I haven't. I will bless them because I figure I want you to come up better than what I did. Am I wrong? Are you that kind of parent too that wants your kids to have more than what you had? So you have this heart, this giving heart, this gracious heart. Are they thankful? Are they grateful? Do they have some gratitude? See, easy come, easy go. And if you don't work for it, will you really appreciate it in the end? That's the big question that I want to ask you guys today. Are you grateful for what you have? Because I'm going to tell you, even if you have just a little, you have more than what you think you have. I love that song, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging in the scene with a gangster lean. Yeah, just be thankful for what you got. I remember my father went out and bought me a car. Yes, it was a red Cadillac, sedan DeVille, photo, white top. That 4-door Cadillac, man, with the white leather seats. It was beautiful. But I lived in a blue neighborhood, and I'll just leave it at that. Riding around in a red car, it caused some issues, not a lot. But that car sure did get me out of a lot of problems because I was able to get away. And boy, instinct, intuition was kicking in back then because I was running them streets, bruh. Yes, I would run out a full tank of gas in a Cadillac and never even left the block. Cruising. Yes, it was a good time, but I gotta say, it got me out of a lot of trouble because I wasn't on foot. Also got me to some job interviews, got me back and forth to work too. Drove that car when I started working at the railroad. But I had to step back and say, do I truly appreciate it? And I'm honestly going to say, I thank my father for the sacrifice. I thank my mother for the sacrifices that they made. We all have to go through something, another. But we look across the street and the grass is always greener on the other side of the septic tank. Do you try to keep up with the Joneses? Do you live beyond your means? Do you spend more than you make? See, that's the profit and loss that we talk about. Profit, loss. When you are a working man and a working woman, you know how much you got coming in. Your income doesn't change a lot. For the entrepreneur that is out there grinding on a daily, where you can have good fiscal weeks and some fiscal weeks are down, but you try to average them out for the quarter and you can tell how much that you got coming in. Boy, you can spend more than you make. And when you do, you are living upside down. That's the gratitude. Because why? We love new things, new stuff, new packages, new this and new that. What's wrong with the old stuff that you got? What happened to it? If you ever moved before and wonder, where did all this stuff come from? Pack up your house. If you ever had to move, you start packing, be like, my goodness, you got stuff stashed away. And man, have you ever been through the junk drawer? How much of that stuff do you really, really need? I'm talking about the life of a minimalist, a life of a person who is living lean with space. Do you have space in your life or do you have clutter? And if your life is cluttered, so are your thoughts. When you start cleaning up your environment, I did a little experiment myself. You know what I did? Come here, cousins, let me tell you. Real simple experiment. Just take a safety pin and go through your closet. Yes, and start cleaning up some of that stuff. Trust me, you're not going to get back down to that weight. You got stuff in there, I'm going to fit this in 2026. No, you're not. You have it inside your closet. So I took a safety pin, put it on the hem of the pants and the shirt tail of some of the shirts. And I told myself, after 1 year, in closet look, do you have an entire area of your house that is just jam-packed with stuff you don't need? Because I'm going to tell you right here and right now, cousins, and I want you to hear me well. You got a jacket in your closet you haven't worn in 2-3 years. You don't like the way it hangs on you. You don't like the colors or the way your hands fit in the pocket. It's something about that article, that garment that you don't like. Meanwhile, it's somebody out there freezing to death. Winter is coming. And you got a jacket you can't stand. And they sitting out there freezing in the cold. Why do you have it? Why do you have it? Get rid of it. Get rid of it. And when you free up the clutter in your physical life, you will start seeing some of the clutter free up on a metaphysical. Do you have some thoughts that you've been carrying around for year after year, and you just keep it up in your head? It's hanging up there like an old coat. Get rid of it. Free your thoughts. Free your thoughts and free your mind. And when you do, you will say, man, I'm so thankful for what I do have. You see, yeah, I came up on the rough side of the mountain. I'm the grandson of a Mississippi sharecropper. That's what I am. And I know my mother and my father, I don't think they ever voted once in their life. Yes. My mother is the one taught my father how to read. See, back then, I remember when they first started allowing, and we fought for the blacks to be able to vote. Did you know they used to charge us money? Blacks are the only people in this entire nation that had to pay to vote. Now, it is free, and it's an open election. They say free for a reason, because they charge black people. They also put the water hose on us, sick dogs on us, bomb threats. And sometimes they were not threats. They bombed houses because they don't want you to vote. So if you got out there and you did your due diligence, be thankful. Be grateful for what you have, because you have power. And that is the thing, the power that you do have. I look back on my life and I am so grateful for the struggle and the sacrifices of those who came before me. But that doesn't mean that I am without sacrifice myself. I done been through a few things, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I have. And most of them, I got to admit, were self-inflicted. But there were certain things that were just out of my control. My freedom, I am so grateful to be able to have freedom. I know how easily it can be taken away. Case in point, I was living in Orange County, California, working at John Wayne Airport over there in Irvine, driving back home at night. I was living with my cousin in Santa Ana. Shout out to Santa Ana. If anybody's out there from Santa Ana, drop something in the comment section. Love to hear from you Southern California folk. I got pulled over by the police. They say I didn't have a light over my license plate. Now, at the time, I was driving my brother Jamie's car, and Jamie got murdered at the age of 22. So his car had sentimental value. I was only supposed to be borrowing that car. They pulled me over. It was a 72 Monte Carlo. And when they pulled me over, they tapped on the window with the service revolver drawn. Now, this is for a fix-it ticket. Tapped on the window, bap, 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 with the pistol. Snatched me out the car. Say, yeah, we gotta inspect your car. Well, I don't give you the right to inspect my car. And I had no freedom. They laid me down on the side of the road on a pile of fire ants. Ants were on my chest. And they told me, don't move. I'm like, ants are biting me. Ants are biting me right now. And they're searching through my car. What they're looking for, I don't know. If it's just a light on top of the license plate, fine. I'll get a bulb. No problem. But they put the gun, the rifle, the shotgun to the back of my neck. Listen, this is 2024. And that was way back in the 80s. I can still feel the cold steel on my vertebrae because I know the difference between me being right here and talking to you and being gone in the 80s is this. I'm not supposed to be here. And I had to move. The ants were starting to bite and they were going up under my shirt. And I'm sitting there and they are telling me, stay down. And I tell, I can't. I have to choose between being bitten or alive. And I flinched. And boy, he put a boot in my back and kicked me over and saw all the ants. He said, oh, you were telling the truth. What, you thought I was lying? I had a bar that was propping up this bench style seat in the Monte Carlo. You know, you got bucket seats nowadays where one person can sit back, one adjustable. Sometimes they heat it, got air conditioners in the seat now. Back then, it took both of us. We got to scoot at the same time to move this bench seat. And the driver's side didn't have a latch on it, so I had a bar up under there propping the seat up in this old Monte Carlo. And that cop got under there and would put his feet on the back and was able to wedge. I don't know how he got that bar out, but he was able to wedge it out and said, aha, this is a weapon. I'm like, do you know how long it took you to get that bar out of that seat? If I wanted to use that for a weapon, I'd have a well-whooped ass by the time I got that bar out of there. That's just to keep the seat from moving back and forth so I can be able to drive safely. No, this is a weapon and you're under arrest. They arrested me, took me to jail, booked me, took my photo and everything else and fingerprinted me. They wanted me in the system. It's what they wanted. They knew they didn't have a case or a charge on me, but they were indeed biased, racist per se. They hated me and hated the style of car, and they just didn't want me around Newport Beach. But I worked there. Next day, after spending the night in the tank, they take me before the judge. I tell the judge the entire story. He was like, you're very articulate. And he said something that still burns me. He said, if you was a horse, I wouldn't bet on you. You'll be back. He said, you'll be back, but you speak well. See, that's that sly slap in the face. That's why I wear that shirt, uppity. My place is in your face. That you speak so well. It's as if you're supposed to be a dummy. You're supposed to be a dumbass. And I don't like the way that you are able to articulate yourself. But he wound up letting me go. And the bailiff laughed and everyone in court had a great time. I was so insulted because I know that my freedom could have been taken away from me. And I would have to fight this fictitious, made up, trumped up charges they would have put on me as from behind bars with a public defender. And that's not the last time either. Yes, same time when I had the red Cadillac. The red Cadillac, white top. Cops pulled me over. telling me I robbed a damn Del Taco or Taco Bell or something at night. I'm like, how do you rob a drive-through window? Yeah, it was in this car and it was you. I'm like, no, it wasn't. I got on a work uniform. I'm coming home once again as a working man from the job. And once again, they drew down on me. You keep getting guns pointed at you by the police. You start feeling like I'm a target. Yes. Anybody remember Public Enemy, the rap group? What was their logo? It was a b-boy, hip-hop, in a crosshairs. Fear of a black planet. Take a nation of millions to hold us back. They don't want you to vote, right? They don't want you to have freedom. But you have to be thankful and be mindful of what you have and be grateful for what you have. I'm just coming to you here and I'm just dropping knowledge and giving you a little bit of story time and letting you know the day and age that we live in. Come on, cousins, help me out. How easy would it be to revert back? Yeah, I do a poem called Free Malt Liquor and Barbecue. You can check it out on YouTube. You can find me at The T Patrick, YouTube. And you can also find me at Cat Daddy in the Mix out there on TikTok. I want you to watch that video of that poem called Free Malt Liquor and Barbecue. Free Malt Liquor and Barbecue. Check it out and you'll see what I'm talking about. How easy it is if we don't fight, if we don't stand up and stand our ground. Yes, voting is the best way. And not just on the presidential election. You got to vote on the local level. Those are the ones. Yeah, those are the judges. Those are the lawyers. Those are the ones who are out there arresting me, harassing me. It wasn't the president of the United States. It's the local folk. Vote. All right? And when I say that I am thankful, I know that I want more in life. Do you want more? Yes, you can have more, but how faithful are you with the things that you have now? God looks at those things. Are you faithful with the little? And can I bless you with more? What are you going to do with what you have? Are you being wasteful, frivolous? Do you have more than what you need already? Do you have something that you can bless other people with? Start with your closet, work it to your mind, and by God, whatever you do, be grateful. Because in the end, when it's all over and it's said and done, my friends, I'm going to tell you right now, cousins, that we can win. Yeah, we can win if we vote. Yes. And in the upcoming days, you might see temples start to flare. Don't be like them. Be cool-headed, all right? And I'll see you guys around. And when I do, hey, I'm going to do you like I do my sweet potatoes, y'all. I'm going to plant you now, but I will be digging you later. And I'm going to see you wherever we can find these podcasts. And if you see me on the street, give me one of these. Say, hey, cousin, I see what you're doing, and I love what you do. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to the funkiest show this side of the pathos. And I am Terry Patrick, and this is Word to the Wise podcast. And I'm thankful, and I'm grateful, and I'm alive. And yeah, I know it's a jungle out there, but guess what? I'm swinging like Tarzan, baby.
I hope you like the podcast and you really like the podcast.
Come on, be serious.
And you really like my podcast. Like and subscribe.